I have seen a person that's an epitome of momentum. I've seen somebody that has actually been living the experience of momentum. And I told you, I covet the energy that some people have. Since the day we met this man has been, he has been, the train before, the way, that locomotive movement, that's how this guy has been moving, and he has been moving and moving. It is clear that he has actually built some energy, and he has been moving in that trajectory. And I wish that I had this energy, and I wish to covet this energy. When you see him then and you see him now, you will know that there is a clear difference, that he has actually moved by far. Help me celebrate Apostle James Obadi. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, now that talks to stand a bit. Just stand if you can. Say, I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm so happy and grateful now. Money comes to me. Money comes to me. In increasing quantities. Through multiple sources. On a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm so happy and grateful now. That money comes to me. In increasing quantities. Through multiple sources. On a continuous basis. Put your hands together for yourself and take your seat. Okay, so I'm talking about moving ahead of the curve. Moving ahead of the curve. See, we live in a world where people are chasing the horizon. But you'll come to a point in your life where you stop chasing the horizon and become the horizon. What is the horizon? The horizon is the limit. The limit of knowledge, the limit of finance, the limit, anything that is the limit. The people say, this is the limit. So that's where everybody's going. Everybody's chasing it. But you come to a point, you stand and say, I am the limit. Everybody meet me up here. How of us want to be that? You say, meet me up here. So I want to show us a brief way we can do that, and then trust the Lord that we would make the most of the information we have. So what's the curve? The curve is actually the average rate of change, innovation, or adaptation in any industry, career, or even in your personal growth. The average rate of innovation, of adaptation, the average rate, the mark. When people are at the curve, it means that is a required standard. That is a norm. All right? If you can pay school fees, if you can pay your rent, if you can have a good car that you can move around, that's the curve. Once you can meet those needs, people feel, oh man, this guy is living well. But there's a level where you get to, where you're no longer thinking about yourself, but you're thinking about other people, your family members. Then you move from your family member to a point where you're thinking about the community where you live. You get what I'm saying now? So we want to show how you can move beyond the regular, beyond the normal, beyond the average. And the model you can use to move. That's my sermon this morning. All right? So there are three categories of people seated here this morning and in our world. Three categories of people. There are those who are behind the curve. All right? These ones are outdated. Outdated people. They are no longer using the regular, the things that we usually use. I put a picture of three things. You can imagine that there's a similarity between these three images I put here. This one was a regular way people type. In those days, if you want to type any letter, you have to go to the typewriter. That thing makes a lot of noise. By the time came, this thing faded out. Now you can use your laptop to type. But right now, laptop is already not going to be useful for typing as we are going. Now we just speak. My wife uses that a lot. Please celebrate my wife. She uses that a lot. She'll just say, Alex, write me a 3-page book, 3-page material. Man, what are you doing? Say, I'm telling my AI to give me. Things are going very fast. Right now, you can attend a meeting, you don't write, you just put your phone somewhere, the thing will take all the record, and then in after the meeting, you can just send it to an app, the thing will transcribe everything and write it for you. But if people are in school right now and they are failing exams, it means they are not ready. Because I remember those days in BSU, we'll go and sit down in one hall they call Argon Hall. And if you are not lucky, you are not there on time, you sit at the back. Then you'll be doing like this. The lecturer will be as if he's singing, and you must pass the exam. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you can take advantage of the technologies that are available within us, you can do a lot with it. So those behind the curve are outdated, struggling to catch up, and I don't want anybody to be here. Nobody should be behind the curve. Majorly, there are two categories of people right now: those on the curve and those ahead of the curve. Majority. Those on the curve are more. Those ahead of the curve are very few. That's why when you call somebody to come for a crypto meeting, a crypto class, they say, I was talking to one lady, she was telling me, all this crypto thing, anything I hear crypto, I'm just so skeptical about it. Why are you skeptical about it? Say, I did one like that, it didn't work. Okay, so you did one like that, it didn't work. Does that mean this one is that one you did? Have you not received fake Naira note before? Is there anybody here who received fake Naira note? But have you stopped receiving Naira? So that something is wrong or something failed, I didn't meet expectations, doesn't mean every other thing will not meet expectation. So those on the curve are competent, all right? They are reactive and they are change responders. They are those people who respond to things. Now POS is in vogue. They go and get POS. They come and say, hey, the next one now is not POS, it's a money wave transfer. They move on it. They are always following trends, all right? And it's not a bad thing to do, to follow trend. But it comes to a point where you follow trend to a point where you slide to behind the curve. Do you get what I'm saying now? After POS came, there were people that will not use POS. They will go to the ATM. I know people like that. They say, 100 Naira charge. Better make a carry motor. I said, do you understand what I said? You are risking your life because of that charge. So even now, POS is already going. Because right now, you can buy land and buy a house with just wallet to wallet transfer. You buy house. Somebody bought a house and transfer Bitcoin, transfer Ethereum, and he has bought a house. All right? So, staying on the curve is not a good thing to do. What every one of us in this room should do is to move ahead of the curve. Those who move ahead of the curve, they are always proactive. They are creators. They are people who are disruptors. I call them visionaries. Those ones, they don't read map. They are the ones that create map. I don't know if you understand. They draw the map. Others follow the map. Those who read the map, they are on the curve. Those who create the map, they are ahead of the curve. And to be ahead of the curve, you must know what is on the curve, and then you must seek to know extra. You must seek to know extra. That's why when you hear something like sales, everybody is running away and say, me, I don't like to sell. Me, I don't like to talk to people. That means you're on the curve. You now, what you need to do that time, you need to move ahead. How do people who sell? How can somebody close a 5 billion deal? What did he say that somebody pull out 5 billion to buy a house? What did the woman say that somebody entered the lodge and paid for 1 month or 3 months? What do salespeople do? Why are they relevant? Why do the richest people in the world, why are they salespeople? Have you not wondered? Nobody who is saying salary earner is one of the 100 million billionaires in the world. Because nobody pays you to be rich. They pay you so you can come back tomorrow. So moving ahead of the curve entails that you are not just going to be a predictor or predictor, you become a creator. It entails that you're not going to read the map, but you involve yourself with what? Moving because of our time. So just look at these two columns. If you find yourself doing this all the time, it means you are on the curve. If you find yourself doing this all the time, it means you are ahead of the curve and you're on track. All right? So those on the curve, like I told you earlier, they are what? Reactive. They react to things. Things must happen before they jump on it. Those ahead of the curve, they are proactive. Like, let me give an instance. When MTN came to Nigeria many years ago, there were people who heard ahead that MTN telecommunications and others were coming. So what they did was that they rushed ahead and bought shares with MTN. They just bought shares and all of that. And right now, whilst we are using airtime, they are also using airtime, but their airtime is sponsored by their shares. Are you seeing the thing now? They foresaw Just like as we sit here right now, we have foreseen some things about CES. My colleague is going to share a lot about it. We have foreseen it. We saw it. People are bothered and they say, why are you guys always talking about this thing? Hey, can't you talk about another thing? We have been on this thing for more than 3 to 4 years now. People thought we are crazy. They thought we are crazy. But if you are truly ahead of the curve, you will see what we have seen. And you put the energy that you need to put. I was telling somebody 2 days ago, I said, do you realize that we are now back to multi-mining? Mentor, I was telling somebody, I said, we are back to multi-mining. Because as soon as multi-mining was ended, we moved to 2.7. Now we are 2.3 or 2.2. Are we not back to multi-mining? Then you see the irony of the thing. Those who complain when we ended multi-mining that if I had, oh God, if you had told me this business when you were doing multi-mining, I would have gotten 1 million coins. You know, there are people like that. I have one like that. Say, sir, if I was aware, I would have gotten plenty coins. Recently, I called and said, if you were aware. If you were aware, now are you not aware? Have you added any coin? You know, so proactiveness makes you to be ahead of the curve. The best practices of people on the curve is how can we do it better? How can we refine it? The best attitude of those ahead of the curve is what is it we should be doing, not what should we make better. Instead of this thing we are doing now that people are making better, what else can we do to make our lives better? Not how to improve, but how we can step on something new and make it better. Like what we are doing right now, it's not conventional. Not everybody wants to talk about cryptocurrency. Not everybody wants to talk about networking. Not everybody wants to talk about, exchanging coins and all of that. But we are doing it. And we are happy doing it. Then the next thing you need to know about those on the curve is efficiency focus. Optimizing the existing machine. This is what is working now. Let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep. This one say, no. It's something better. Building something new, more capable machine. Let's do something that, it will help us out of, the normal struggle of everybody. Let's not do what others are doing. Let's do something new. Then the thing about these guys, the fear of failure. What if I join this your business and it's crash? Have you heard people like that?
Yes.
They're on the cuff. What if I join now, the thing crash? Hey, I do one last year, it crashed. I do one next 2-3 years ago. The same thing. I met a woman. She was interested in our business and she said a lot. And we had meetings and she was ready. Then she went and told her pastor. Pastor said, I'll try it. Go and build that your house in nature that you are building. Complete it. She called me and said, my pastor said, my mama said, my this one said. I said, it's very good to listen to your pastor. It's very good. It's very good to listen to your pastor. God bless you, man. See you guys some other time. We don't convince people. Mentor taught us that. We don't convince people. We just share knowledge and trust God that they listen. So the fear of failure, avoid mistakes at all costs, is a language of those on the curve. Those ahead of the curve are curious. They are curious. There's one elderly man I love here. That man is 60-something or 70-something. I've forgotten his name now. The guy is curious. Meanwhile, he is 70-something or 60-something. His son, who is just 17, is still afraid. The father, who is already old, is curious. The young boy who should be curious is not curious. Curiosity, fast learning, is the ultimate currency of those ahead of the curve. You must come to that level where you are curious. Then these ones, they do competitive analysis. What are they doing? How can I copy? How can I do this one? This one say, let's forget about where we are. Let's look ahead. Let's look ahead. So very quickly, how can you move from being behind the curve, being on the curve, to being ahead of the curve? This is my last slide. How can you move from behind, from on to ahead? It's very important. This is where most people are limited. The first thing, like I said, is what? Curiosity. Curate curiosity. They did a test, I've forgotten the name of that test now, for children who were age 1 to 5. They brought some questions and they asked those children those questions. They were age 1 to 5. The researcher said those children had about 90% genius level. You know what it means? It means that those children had one level of smartness that was unconventional. They brought those same set of questions to people who were age 5 to 15. And the genius level dropped from 90% to around 70, 80%. They brought the same question again to those age 30. The thing dropped by 50%. Then they brought the same question to those who were age adults, like 35 and above. The thing dropped like 15%. The researcher started asking, why? What happened? Why is it that when children ask, when children are small, you ask them questions, they answer. They are always doing well. But when they start growing, they started losing, some memory and all of that. You know what they said? He said, children are curious. You see, your child can ask you 100 questions before evening. Mommy, why is this one like this? Mommy, why? They're always curious. Then the next thing they said is that children play a lot. So that play affords them the opportunity to learn very fast. So you must come to a level where your curiosity is increasing. Do one thing every day that scares you. You don't like to meet people. Just go out and just say, I'm going to meet somebody today. And I'm not going to meet somebody from the ghetto. I'm going to meet somebody who has money that I don't have. Curiosity. Just do it. Your business is in your hands. Some of you are on level 12. Some of you are on level 10. Some of you are on level 7. Level 6. You have been there. You are just there. You are not meeting new people. You are not doing this. You got to move from there. Curiosity. The next thing is build for tomorrow's problem, not today's problem. I know somebody who will call me every minute. Sir, how many coins have they released to me, sir? Some of us will stake our coin now. So, yes. Sir, how many coins have they released? I have urgent problem. When you have money, urgent problems will come. I'm telling you the truth. The guy had urgent problem until all the coins finish. Because he's building for today's problem. He's building for today's problem, not tomorrow's problem. You can't live like that. You know why some of us don't like sales? Because you are building for today's problem. That's right. You are not building for tomorrow's problem. Build for tomorrow's problem. Don't just patch today's leaks. Say the roof is leaking, let's patch it. No! Pull on the roof. Put something new. That's what some of us are doing. I told someone, I said, if it is for me and my wife, my children and in-laws, and we won't be hungry again. We will not. But we are building for tomorrow's problem. Why if we still go to labor room? Even if you are living in your own house, something will spoil. You must buy it. One person will never chat to for like 1 year, they just start to say, sir, I am telling, as I'm talking to you now. One comment, Beto was telling us that time, he called and say he has how much? He's just looking for something to complete. I knew understand when Beto said it was when my friend called me and said he had 1 million already. That he just need like 400,000 to complete it to pay his rent. I said, my friend, why are you collect the 1 million you have given the landlord? Go and rent another place that you can afford. How can you have 1 million in landlords and you are looking for 400,000 to complete? What is wrong with you? Go somewhere else if you can afford this one. But that's the reality. And some of those needs, you must meet it. You are not obligated, but if you don't do it, they say, you are wicked. Even though I didn't have to give him, I gave him the one I can have. But I'm not obligated to do so. Do for tomorrow's problem. I'm running. Embrace uncomfortable, the uncomfortable. Embrace it. We live in a Gen Z world where everybody wants it fast. Nobody wants to be discomforted. Nobody wants to be, but you have to. If you are truly going to build for tomorrow's problem, you must accept discomfort. I lived in my shop in this Abuja for 1 year and some months. And I was the senior pastor of the church. That shop was my office. It was my shop. It was my house. It was a church. We didn't have a church venue. And nobody knew. It was until I squatted one of my friends in the shop that people now knew I was living because the guy was very lazy. When I was staying in the shop alone, I would wake up as early as 4 a.m. and my day is set. My boy who was working with me in the shop would come and meet me dressed and sitting, and he would do me picture, he would do all those things. But when that guy started living with me, my boy who was living with me, who was in my shop, knew that I was living in the shop. And this was the reason I decided to accept discomfort. No, I can't do that again. That's right. I was willing to accept discomfort. So you must be willing to accept temporary discomfort for permanent comfort. It's very, very important. And one of the ways I'm buttressing sales, because that's the one most people don't like. I'm talking about networking. If I'm going to share my business to 100 people and they will come into my business and I will never have to beg again, I'm going to share it to 100 people. I'm going to do that. All right. The last thing, move with courage, not certainty. You see that? Very, very important. Because a lot of people want to see the end before they take the step. And God doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If I was living in my comfortable house in Lafayette, National State, and I was not willing to move into Abuja and stay in my shop for 1 year, I won't meet Andrew. If I don't meet Andrew, I won't meet Mentor Sam. If I don't meet Mentor Sam, I won't meet you. That's how life is mysterious. I was moving to Abuja, Andrew was moving to Abuja. I was living in my shop, Andrew was living somewhere else. Our path crossed, my path and Mentor crossed. My path and Mentor crossed, my path and Leo crossed. My path and Leo crossed. Now I'm meeting Reverend Dr. Chelon. Isn't that amazing? So you just have to take the step out of courage, not because you are so sure. I'm talking like Mentor today. See, I'll do like this. Move. Go to some eatery, even if there's no money in your pocket, sit down there and cross your leg. I remember I used to do that in 2020. I would just leave check from my shop or look where that's look where across. Where that there's zone, where zones, all those zones. I would trek from that place to ShopRite. I'll come and sit down there and be watching people spend money. I'll say, God. Woo! But now I can do it. Now I can go and sit down with my wife and chop. Do things. Next slide, sir. The curve is not a line to be followed. It is a barrier to be broken. Stop following the path. Start laying the tracks. Next slide. My name is James Ogbaji. I'm glad to see you.